The chair calls the meeting of the IIIE Board to order. It is December 21st, 2022, and we have a quorum. Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Present.
Senator Eichhorn,
Present.
Representative Eigel,
Present.
Representative Lisigard,
Present.
Representative Lewick,
Present.
Senator Ruud, Representative Sandsted. Present. We have all 8 members present.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda, members, is the approval of the October 2022 minutes. Addenda May, that's the green piece in your packet. Any questions, errors, or omissions? If not, Representative Eklund moves approval of the minutes of October 20. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. Motion prevails. Commissioners' comments, and I think we've got the commissioner here via electronic means, I believe.
Chairman, Senator Bach, thank you very much. I don't have a lot, but I do want to, first I want to apologize for wearing a hat, but I had Representative Lisigard's barber do my head yesterday and my head's cold. To wear the hat. And the other reason I wanted to wear it is it has the new logo of Minnesota College North. Our new combination of our 5 campuses. And that's their new logo on the top of my hat. Okay. And I think we'll hear from President Ryacks a little later in the meeting. So my few comments I do have. One is, I think at the last board meeting, I spoke about the Thomasoni Memorial that's being proposed in Chisholm, along the lake there on the over, where you drive over the lake coming into Chisholm. And they're in the middle of their fundraising thing. And I indicated to the board, and I still believe that the board should participate in this at the end when we see how they've done it. But I do had a preliminary report that they're doing very well with the fundraising. And although I believe some of the mining companies, but as long as we got all the general managers on the line here, I remind you to take a hard look at that. That's probably a good civic endeavor for the companies. But so Thomasoni Memorial, more to come. But I just wanted to remind you that we haven't, the board will probably be asked to step up and make a small obligation for that. Any comments on that to me? I don't know. I've been working with Shelley Valentini, who retired recently as the head of the Northeastern Minnesota United Way, has been the kind of the primary volunteer that I've been working with. And she's gave me a very good report on where they're at in their fundraising. So I'm hearing something, so I'm going to make sure there's any other comments. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to bring up is, I'm at the tail end of my time here at the end of the year, and I just wanted to thank the board and staff. These jobs are tough enough on any given day, but if you don't have the trust and support of this board, which I've enjoyed for 8 years, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate that, because when you're trusted, you can tell in a big hurry, and when you're not trusted, you can tell in a big hurry. So I really appreciate the level of trust that you put in me, and I try to make sure that I honor that and earn that every day. So I want to thank the board for my time here. And I also want to thank the staff. It's so difficult, again, to run these agencies. But we have a very small staff. And, if some investigative reporter wanted to do some study on something, I have to see the kind of impact we have for roughly 45 people. It's unbelievable. And the leverage of our money that we've enjoyed in the last 8 years, at least on my tenure here. So I just want to take that minute and thank everybody. And then the last thing is, before you leave today, if you're at the board meeting, if you're not here, we'll send it to you. Is I had Lorene go out and make us and purchase some small gift we give you at the end of the meeting. And just for the record, this is at my expense, not at the agency's expense. There's no violation of any statutes or anything like that. So with that, I want you to have that for a memory of my last board meeting and also kind of a Merry Christmas present. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Members, the first order of business is a resolution appointing a citizen to the Central Iron Range Sewer Sanitary District Board. State statute requires that the IRRB have one citizen member on that board. And the resolution is resolution 23-005. And it appoints Larry Polsdale to the CRISSD board for a 3-year term. Representative Sandspeed moves resolution 23-005. Any discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion prevails. Resolution is adopted. The next resolution, we've got your staff to present on this budget amendment of resolution 23.
Oh, Senator Bob, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think we have to do a roll call vote because we have members participating online. So I think we have to do a roll call for all of these.
Oh, okay, okay. Only because we have people voting remotely.
That's correct.
Okay.
Authorize that under the notice of the meeting.
Let's just take the roll on resolution 23-00.
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Aye.
Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Lister.
Yes.
Representative Wood,
Aye.
Senator Rude. Senator Rude,
Sorry, yes.
Representative Sandsted. Yes. We have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails. The resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-006. Staff member Bob Stone.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'm here to present a budget amendment approval. As part of our original budget, the board approved $1 million for the commercial redevelopment program. And as of today, it's almost completely liquidated. There's currently a balance of $47,230 left. And we are asking the board for an additional $500,000 to make it through June 30th. For, we have some projects that are still in the works. So this resolution 23-006 is asking for an additional $500,000.
Senator Eichhorn moves resolution 23-006. Any discussion? Not for the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Aye.
Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Lister.
Yes.
Representative Wood,
Aye.
Senator Rude,
Yes.
Representative Sandsted. Yes. We have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
The next resolution on fuel is resolution 23-007. After October, it's got some walk us through that.
Mr. Chair, Scott Sunball will be presenting this project.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, our first loan project today is a $200,000 participation loan to Range 2 company LLC. Range Tool Company is a contract precision machine shop located in downtown Gilbert. Range Tool started in 2009 by Michael Peterson with a single piece of used equipment in his garage. And today they have over 25 pieces of equipment. In 2015, Michael and his wife Dana purchased the former curling club in Gilbert, which became the new and current location to Range Tool under a long-term lease. Range Tool has found its niche in the market by supplying machined and purchased complementary components to the firearm manufacturers throughout the country. In 2021, they had total sales nearing $2 million. Some of the components that are supplied by Range Tool are upper and lower receivers, charging handles, bolt carrier groups, and barrel extensions, among others, products and services. This total project cost is $400,000. The agency will participate with Park State Bank at $200,000 each. The project consists of the purchase of 4 leased CNC machines and consolidating some smaller notes to free up the cash flow. This will also pay off Range Tool's current loan with the agencies. The collateral consists of first position lien on equipment, inventory, accounts receivable, and general intangibles. The proposed loan will also have the personal guarantee of Michael Peterson. The project will create 2 new positions and retain 9. Range Tool has an excellent payment history with the agency dating back to 2013. And I do have Michael Peterson here if there are any questions.
Mr. Peterson,
Oh,
anything you want to tell the board about the business?
well, just like Scott said, we started out in the garage and started sorting parts in our basement, and here we are. I don't know how many, it's 12 years now. We bought the old curling club in Gilbert, that was unused and made use out of it, and here we are trying to keep growing. In Gilbert, Minnesota.
Growing revenue?
Yeah.
Senator Sansky moves resolution 23-00. Stop. Need discussion.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to congratulate you on your hard work. It's tough to start out small like that and have a vision. That's exactly what you did. You're very, very successful. So it's exactly what this board wants to support, people like you. That's great.
Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Reichhorn,
Aye.
Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Lister,
Yes.
Representative Lewis,
aye,
Senator Rude,
yes,
Representative Sansky. Yes. We have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted.
Thanks for your support.
Yes, thank you. Good luck. The next resolution 23-008. Advanced machine. Staff, Ryan Wallace, is that what we're doing?
Mr. Chair, Ryan Wallace will be presenting participation loan for advanced machine guarding systems or AMGS.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next project is a $100,000 participation loan to Advanced Machine Guarding Solutions. Advanced Machine Guarding Solutions is a manufacturing company that designs and produces safety steel wire mesh guarding for the automation industry. They were founded in Hibbing in 2020. AMGS supplies other manufacturing companies with safety products to ensure that their operating equipment meets OSHA standards in the US and Canada. What makes AMGS different is that they merge 2 different technologies, mechanical guarding and electronic safety devices, into one pre-designed package for the customer, giving them an opportunity in the market not being fulfilled by their competitors in the industry. This $241,000 project that we're participating in with Park State Bank will allow AMGS to purchase the materials necessary to build a drill and tapping system, a hydraulic wire cutting system, a wire mesh welding machine, and a powder coat collection and conveyor system. Some funds will also be used to further automate an existing weld machine. The addition of this equipment will improve product quality, increase efficiency, and increase capacity to continue to grow operations. This project will help to retain 4 existing jobs and result in the creation of 1 additional job. And if there are any questions with me, I have Mr. Jason Wabama, President and owner of ANGS, and Joe Rosinka, the plant manager.
Mr. Wobble, welcome to
Thank you.
the board. Appreciate it. You'd like to share with us?
We appreciate your guys' support. We're a startup company, probably couldn't start in a worse time with COVID in the last 2 years, but we are aggressively growing as a company and look forward to continued support with the IRRR and so forth.
There's Sansky moves resolution 23-008.
Upgraded, this is great.
Be here, we feel like our name in the minutes. Any questions? Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Reichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Liskar.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
yes,
Senator Root.
yes,
Representative Sansky. Yes. We have 8 yes, 0 no.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-009, smoke on the water. Now, begin and.
Mr. Malik will be presenting, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next project is a $380,121 participation loan, Smoke on the Water. Smoke on the Water is a new production winery and cidery, soon to be located on the shores of Trout Lake in Coleraine. This past summer, Tia Starks purchased the former Coleraine Fire Hall, which had sat vacant for several years and had rapidly fallen into disrepair. Tia currently owns and operates Grand Rapids-based Unwind Up North, an award-winning wine bar. And through Unwind, she's cultivated many relationships with wineries and cideries statewide, has gained an intimate knowledge of the industry, and has identified a demand for locally produced wines and ciders. This nearly $1.5 million project that we are participating in with Grand Rapids State Bank will go towards the purchase of wine and cider production equipment and renovations and repairs to the building to make it suitable for occupancy. This project will result in the creation of approximately 10 new jobs. Also wanted to note that the wines will be sold through a distributor. So it will be available for sale at the facility, but also in different stores throughout the region. If there are any questions, Ms. Starks was en route. I think she was having some travel issues, so I can try my best to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I'll just raise a comment, Mr. Chair. You know, there's this,
So I go.
this project is super anticipated by the community of Coleraine. The community around Grand Rapids, Coleraine has really rallied around Unwind, and now with this new project, they're very excited to see this kind of development in Coleraine. And I can't speak highly enough about the project. So it's a really exciting startup. And people are very excited.
I can't think of another place we're making wine. Here's my chance to make a pitch for Robert. Robert Mondavi, many of you drank, was born in Virginia, Minnesota. And ultimately ended up, it started making wine here, his dad did. And would collect up money from Rand citizens, go to California every year and bring back grapes for rangers to make wine in their basements, medallions. I, being the loyal ranger that I am, I buy Mondavi wine when I can. Any questions? Representative Eigel moves resolution 23-00. Roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Reichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Liskar.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Root.
yes,
Representative Sansky. Yes. We have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-010. Mr. Ismail and Mr. Silvers and community infrastructure projects.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Ismail will be presenting the development and community infrastructure projects.
And members, as we go through these, if you've got a question, why don't you just make yourself a note and then we'll take questions once Mr. Ismail's done. Mr. Chair, members of the board, we have 14 fiscal year 23 infrastructure projects we review and recommendation. The investment $5,739,000. Total project investment for the 14 projects $59,205,169, with a leverage of $1 in agency funds to $9 in other funds. First project under development infrastructure, Cook County Grand Marais Joint Economic Development Authority, grant amount $450,000. Project consists of infrastructure and site work for the expansion of a transfer station in Grand Marais. North Shore Waste is building a 22,000 square foot facility on 11 acres. This facility will sit adjacent to their current operations. And moving these operations to an indoor facility allows all waste to be transferred to semi trucks, resulting in significant efficiencies in both operations and transportation costs. It also will help mitigate the rising costs associated with transferring waste to landfills outside the county. Right now, they're currently running trucks from Grand Portage, Grand Marais, North Shore, Cook County, all the way to Duluth, Superior area. And this facility will allow them to unload some of those trucks into larger base semi trucks within the facility, which will significantly reduce costs. Second project, Cook County Grand Marais Joint Economic Development Authority, grant amount $500,000. Project consists of infrastructure and site work for a new housing development in Grand Marais. A recent housing needs analysis projects the need 520 to 615 housing units in the region, and that's over the course of 3 years. The proposed project will include 51 long-term apartment units, 11 of which will be available to residents earning 50% of their immediate income, or $29,200 for 2022. This development would provide 10% of what that anticipated housing stock need is over the next 3 years. We're working with Cook County HRA, who's working with the developer PR companies based out of the roof. Next project for your consideration, City of Grand Rapids, grant amount $264,000. Project includes site grading utility extensions for a private hangar development site at the Grand Rapids at Taska County Airport. Water and sanitary sewer being installed to serve 10 private hangar sites on the airport property. This phase 1 would include the construction of an 11,880 square foot 3-bay hangar. And in conversations right now at the airport, they have demand to probably build a second one immediately. So good development project, shovel ready to go. Great Scott Township. Project consists of infrastructure and site work for the expansion of a new meat processing facility located in Great Scott Township. Northern Minnesota Meat Company will construct a new 11,700 square foot processing facility and a 4,500 square foot warehouse to provide service to farmers within a 100-mile radius of the facility. This processing facility will process beef, pork, lamb, moose at the new facility with on-site U.S. Department of Ag federal inspection. Expected to create 23 permanent jobs and 26 construction jobs with large impact to our area farmers and the opportunity for us to grow in the ag business locally. City of Virginia, grant amount $400,000. The project consists of infrastructure upgrades and relocation for the continued redevelopment of the Uptown Virginia. This is formerly known as the Thunderbird Mall. Rockstep Capital is moving forward with a multi-million-dollar redevelopment of the interior small shop space. It will perform full demolition of the interior stores and commons area. Rockstep will reconfigure build-out space for a new anchor tenant store, new junior anchor tenant store, and additional new small retail operators. And then expansion of some of the existing and some relocation of existing. This, what I would call phase 2 of really demolling this mall, but it's very significant, very significant impact in terms of right now, folks, some of these new anchor stores, folks are going to Duluth to get that product. You'll be able to have it here, on the Iron Range. Expected to create 100 permanent jobs and 76 construction jobs. Virginia Community Foundation, grant amount $1 million. Project consists of acquisition, upgrades, and operational startup of the former YMCA facility in Mount Iron. The YMCA facility was constructed in 1992 with the aid of a grant from the agency, and it covered about 50% of the construction costs. The Mesaba Family YMCA ceased operations on July 30th, 2022. The Virginia Community Foundation, acting as a fiscal sponsor for Mesabi Fit Coalition, is requesting IRRB funding for the purchase, repair, and refurbishment of the facility so it could reopen for a broad range of recreation and fitness services accessible to the entire community. Prior to its closing, this facility served thousands of our residents across the region. Project is expected to bring back 20 permanent jobs and create 3 construction jobs with the refurbishment of the facility. Community infrastructure, City of Aurora, grant amount $1 million. Project is phase 1 of the construction of a new East Range water system. Phase 1 consists of constructing a new water main to serve the Scenic Acres residential area, constructing a new water main to serve Pineville, a new water intake facility located on the north shore of Barris Lake Pit. This facility, essentially, this is a new water treatment facility. This facility would be built out of capacity to serve 4 communities: Township, White Township, Town of White, Aurora, White Lakes, and Biwabic. Initially, Aurora and Town of White would come into this, but it will have the opportunity for additional build out in the future to take on those other communities. It's a very large project. As I said, this is phase 1. You see $11 million. The remaining funding is about 13 million in phase 2. So that's why you see a significant investment in our agency's project. City of Cook, grant amount $238,000. Project consists of infrastructure upgrades and road reconstruction on North River Street and Vermilion Drive. The county is going to do some reconstruction on Vermilion Drive. So this is an opportune time for the city to get the infrastructure updated and relieve some flooding issues that they've been having within the community. Project is expected to create 13 construction jobs. Ellsburg Township, project consists of the construction of a new fire hall facility in addition to the existing emergency services facility in Ellsburg Township. New facility will house new medical response truck and equipment. The project is expected to create 1 construction job. City of Evelyn, project consists of sanitary sewer force main replacement and a SCADA communication system upgrades at their water treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant. Project will result in improved communications and reliability at 5 lift stations, a water booster station, and a water tank. Project also includes a slip ramp to be constructed on the south end of Patrick Avenue. The project is expected to create 8 construction jobs. Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, grant amount $243,000. Project consists of construction of a cultural and tourism center in the S Lake community. The proposed 16-acre site is currently occupied by a former school that is scheduled for demolition in 2023. It's located directly on Minnesota State Highway 46, which is designated as part of the Avenue of the Pines Scenic Byway. Project includes also upgrades to the Inger RV Park and Roundhouse facility located in the park. Project is expected to create 12 construction jobs. City of Silver Bay. Project consists of upgrades to accommodate expansion of the Silver Bay Public Library. The expansion will create new programming and public meeting space. It includes relocation of an entrance to improve accessibility for all, roof replacement, and tree improvements. Project is expected to create 6 construction jobs. City of Taconite. Project is to construct a new water tower, pump house to replace existing infrastructure. Existing 50,000 gallon tower and 55,000 gallon ground reservoir pump house will be decommissioned and demolished to build out the new 50,000 gallon tower. This tower is way beyond its life, and they are kind of an emergency mode. USDA funding is in place to move this project forward. City of Winton. Project consists of improvements to its water storage tower that will help the city address some of its water system issues. Project would include the construction of a new underground vault structure, construction of an operations building, and upgrades to the water tower control system. This 2 years ago, 50 below, everything froze up, water tower issues with their control system, no water to homes. We had to come in with some emergency funding. The commissioner did, and this is to help kind of finalize alleviating that.
that issue within the community. Mr. Chair, Board, I'll entertain any questions at this time.
Representative
I have a question.
Representative.
Thank you. On the meatpacking plant that we're talking about, you mentioned that they would be processing moose. Is there any discussion of processing deer?
Principal here?
No.
Okay.
No deer.
Okay.
And I think the moose conversation was specific to working with boys for at this point.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, just commented on that, the years that I worked on the chronic wasting disease issue, when the USDA processors take their animals from a third farm, they reserve the time, and so that would say that block of X number of days for processing venison.
Sure.
Senator Eichmann.
I got kind of a question on the Leech Lake one, more of a comment than a question. I guess maybe the first question would maybe be for the commissioner or staff. Do we still have people? We used to have this nice little sticker that people get for their project that said this project is made possible through taxes paid by Minnesota's mining industry. Do we require people to affix that to projects, or do we still do anything with that?
Mr. Chair, Senator Eichhorn, yes, there will be an actual sign on the site, a large sign that indicates that this project is in part help being paid for by mining tax dollars. Yes.
Mr. Chair, thank you. And I think that's important. I guess I probably speak for Representative Vigo as well, that we've had a little frustration there because they've been vehemently opposed to some of our both mining and timber projects that have been in the area. And I think there's a misunderstanding for some of those folks where these dollars come from. And I think you've mentioned it before, Mr. Chair, in some projects in your area, that it is important for some of these folks to know where these dollars come from and how important our mining industries are. So I would just like to put that on the record, so that way the Leech Lake folks know as well that it's important to us and where this money is actually coming from. I'm not going to oppose their project today, but there's definitely a level of frustration with how opposed they've been to our industries.
Thank you. I have a new post to help us with this, but for those of you that are going to be new board members, the statute says that this money has to be spent in the 15 school districts that comprise the Taconite Reef area. And I know where State Highway 46 is, and I'm pretty sure it's not in the Taconite Reef area. I think it's awful close, where the Deer River and Grand Rapids school districts come together. But Mr. Betchka, maybe you can tell all of us how this is eligible for mining tax dollars and the building's actually located outside of the Taconite Reef.
Chairman Bach, members of the board, thank you. That's a really good question. The majority of projects that the board approves of the agency funds are funded out of the Taconite Area Environmental Protection Fund, the TPF fund, as we call it. All projects funded from that fund have to be located within 15 school districts, or 14 now, I guess it is, the Taconite Assistance Area. However, as part of the fiscal year 23 budget, the board approved some public works dollars out of the DJJ corpus. And this project is being funded out of those funds. Under that statute, it says money from the trust fund shall be expended only in or for the benefit of the Taconite Assistance Area. So that's why this project is being funded out of the corpus funds the board approves as part of the budget for public projects or infrastructure projects.
Mr. Chair and members of the board, just as a point of clarification, because that's been brought up, there's two components to this, and on the cultural and tourism center in the S Lake community, that community does sit within our service area, and about $161,000 of this request.
Yeah, so I went through the steps on the website. It's a little confusing because they didn't ask for particular names. They asked like how many tickets we want to the complimentary events on Friday and Sunday.
Chad, can you hold up for a second and mute? Patrick, sorry, I think you got it. Okay, and then there's about $82,000 that sits less than a mile off of the border. That's within this Inger Park tied to the roundhouse facility upgrade. So it's a component of that project. So there is a piece both within and just outside, just for clarification.
Some conversations never go away, members. I remember back in Jim Gustafson, former state senator, was the commissioner, probably back in 95 or 96. We did $100,000 grant for Woodland Hills in Duluth, which and Mr. Brothers nodding his head back there. I see he was our attorney general. And the argument there was that range citizens, I think it was like a chemical dependency type program. The argument there was that, well, range kids go to Woodland Hills too, so it's for the benefit of. So this has always been a little bit murky. It goes back to probably my first year on the board. But I just would encourage incoming board members to be very, very careful about this. This money pretty clearly lost for the benefit of people that live in the community. So just be careful going forward that there are people that actually benefit. Representative.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I totally agree with you. I'd like to go back to the Great Scott, 500,000 for the meat packing facility. And when you look at that $4.8 million of private investment into our region, that's incredible. And what that's going to do is it's really going to help our local farmers. And I couldn't be more proud to be supporting that, because I know the effort that the owner has put in to make this successful. And that's private equity into our region. So I want to personally thank you for everything that you do and bringing this forward. It's going to benefit the whole region.
Representative.
I think Commissioner Phillips is trying to get your attention.
Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've had 4 or 5 comments, and I've tried to raise my hand, and I don't know how I in this conversation, but I do want to agree with Commissioner Nelson. You know, he and I have been talking about a meat processing plant in Taconite area, I think, for my whole 8 years. So seeing this come to fruition is just wonderful. So I totally agree with that comment. I want to go back to the Leech Lake thing. You know, comments made about some of the tribal governments, you know, work on mining or timber products or whatever. And, you know, I'm looking at this project as being a bridge builder for some of the things we're trying to work with these tribes on right now, which would be positive for our area. So I am encouraging you to vote on this, but I understand the caution. I totally get it. But I'd like to see this project move forward.
Any other questions from board members? Staff, anything more? Mr. Grover, maybe you can tell us about the benefit of those that don't have the packet, the amount of investment that's going to happen, leverage, the ratio of leverage, I guess, as a result of these projects.
And Mr. Chair, members of the board, I mean, as I opened, I talked about our agency investing $5.7 million with total project investment nearly at $60 million. So, you know, this is generating a lot of investment locally to be spent within our Taconite assistance area. And under Commissioner Phillips, it's the shift when he came here was we want leverage. We don't want to do small projects. The smallest project you see here is the city of Winton, which we generally don't do those that small of a project. You need to have USDA funding and those type of things, which we do have them working with USDA, and they plan on doing a larger base project. But generally, to get into this funding stream here at the agency, now you need high leverage, and that's what you're seeing here is an additional $52 million being spent within our capital assistance area.
Any other questions? Representative Eklund moves resolution 23-010.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Lister.
Yes.
Representative Lewick.
Aye.
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Stansky.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Regional trail project. Resolution 23-01.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, we have 7 regional trail projects with an agency investment of $2,563,745 and a total project investment of $6,012,350. That's a 1.3 to 1 leverage. First one is for the city of Aiken with a grant request of $105,000. The project is for a community trail within the city for a new trailhead, a 1.35 mile trail that connects with an existing trail and the Aiken City Park. The next project is for the city of Crosby with a grant request of $18,780. This project is to support the Cuyuna Lakes Mountain Bike Crew Volunteer Maintenance Club with efforts to purchase a winter fat tire trail groomer, a tool trailer, and trail maintenance tools. The next project is Itasca County with a grant request of $95,000. There's 2 projects involved in this request. The first is for the Balsam Creek Bridge replacement for snowmobiles and ATVs. The second is for improvements to the Wabana Ski Trail and the construction of 2 boardwalk sections. The next project is from Lake County with a request of $100,000. This project will build 2 new intermediate trails, upgrade an existing trail to an all-weather standard, and construct a bridge that crosses a river. And this all takes place at Split Rock Wilds Mountain Bike Park. The next project is from Northeast Regional ATV Trail Joint Powers Board. The grant request is for $1,960,000. So this is a very wide range project that consists of numerous trail construction projects throughout the area. And the construction will take place on trails that are maintained by the Ranger ATV, Northern Tracks, Prospector ATV, Quad Cities ATV, and Voyager Country ATV Club. The connected trail system will eventually run from International Falls to the Iron Range, from Ely to the North Shore, and consists of over 1,500 miles of ATV trails. And this project also supports the funding of an ATV economic impact study. The next is for the St. Louis and Lake County Regional Railroad Authority. The grant request is for $250,000. The Masabi Trail is a 162-mile long paved trail that runs from Grand Rapids to Ely. It's very close to being completed. This particular project is for the construction of 2.5 miles of trail that connects West 2 River in Kugler Township to the city of Tower. And the last project is for the Superior Hiking Trail Association. The grant request is for $34,965. This project includes development of a Superior Hiking Trail master plan, trail counters, and volunteer maintenance equipment. Mr. Chair, members of the board, if you have any questions.
Question about resolution 23-01.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just gonna make a comment on all of these projects. It's great to see us, leveraging money again, especially here in Itasca County, using those federal dollars and from state dollars to really fund 2 projects that really struggle to find dollars a lot. So it's great to see those investments in the agency work and bring them down. So thanks for your work.
Thank you.
Well, on that issue, I want to thank Senator Blue, who's joined us remotely. But you notice on the St. Louis Lake County Railroad, there's a $750,000 grant for the legacy account. Senator Blue, thank you for shepherding that through. You chaired that committee in the state Senate. So, and those of you that are new, we try pretty hard now in St. Paul. There's a lot of pots of money to draw from. You see money here from the ATV account. So I wish you the this. Leveraging dollars from St. Paul to match dollars here at the agency to fill all our infrastructure.
Senator Bach.
Yes. Senator Root?
I just said thank you, Senator Bach. It's such a pleasure to make sure that the money, you know, matches the great projects and comes to greater Minnesota. So thanks for that.
Senator Root moves resolution 23-011.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Weigel.
Yes.
Representative Lislicker.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Root.
Yes.
Representative Sansky.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 no.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-012. Linda Johnson. And these are projects in the mines, part of a rebate that we have in current law for them to calculate economic development. About 30 cents a pound of the taconite taxes collected goes into this account, and then the board solicits projects from the mining companies, and we help them reinvest back in their facilities. It's a statutory provision. Ms. Johnson.
Mr. Board, or Mr. Chair, board members, thank you. First project up today is Hibbing Taconite. Hibbing Taconite Mining Company is eligible for a rebate of $1,654,353, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,654,353 for a minimum total project cost of $3,308,706. The project is for a tailing basin buttressing, total project cost again 3.4. Hibbing Taconite's tailing basin receives and stores tailings after extracting the iron units during the pellet production process. The basin is engineered and pounded, that is designed, monitored, and operated to safely contain tailings under all anticipated conditions. We have Adam Osborne and Adam Riddell here from Hibbing Taconite via Zoom, if there are any questions about the project today.
Any questions on this project? If not, next.
Chairman, our idea was that perhaps we could approve these as we go forward with them, the resolutions for the.
Separately, okay.
Yes.
Representative Whistleguard moves resolution 23-012. Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Weigel.
Yes.
Representative Lislicker.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Root. Representative Sansky.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 no.
Motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-013. Johnson.
Chairman Bach, board members, Minorca is eligible for a rebate of $772,801, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $772,801 for a minimum total project cost of $1,554,602. The project is for a splitter bin structural repairs, total project cost $2 million. The splitter bin is a structure that has pellets pass through it from the indurating furnace and splits off pellets to 3 areas. To the pellet stockpile, to the temporary location if the primary pellet stockpile is unavailable, and to the recirculating to the hearth layer bin. Due to the age and operating condition of the structural steel has deteriorated to a point of replacement. And Connor McHugh and Nolan Koskela are here today from Minorca online if anybody has any questions.
Any questions? Representative Whistleguard moves resolution 23-013.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Weigel.
Yes.
Representative Lislicker.
Aye.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Root.
Yes.
Representative Sansky.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 no.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-014, Johnson.
Next project, North Shore Mining Company. North Shore Mining Company is eligible for a rebate of $1,447,667, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,447,676 for a minimum total project cost of $2,895,352. Total project cost for is 3.1 million. Project number 1 is for the mine force pressure air quality improvements for $1.1 million. This project is for the installation of a clean air makeup air system that introduces air optimally into the various levels of the coarse pressure at the mine. Project 2 is for a mine water tower replacement for $1 million. This investment replaces one of 2 water towers that provides potable water to the mine shops and offices. And project number 3 is a railroad fiber optic upgrade for $1 million. The railroad centralized traffic control CTC system helps ensure the safety of personnel, detects broken rails, misalignment of switches and rails that pull apart during winter operations. This project would upgrade this equipment to fiber optic wiring and install updated components associated with the dispatch and communications network. Paul Carlson and Larry Carlson from North Shore Mining Company are available online if there are any questions.
Questions, members? Representative Eklund moves resolution 23-014. Will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Lister.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Sansky.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 no.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-015, Ms. Johnson.
U.S. Chairman Bach, board members, U.S. Steel Key Tac. U.S. Steel Key Tac is eligible for a rebate of $1,039,570, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,039,570 for a minimum total project cost of $2,079,140. The project is for Key Tac DR grade pellets. Total project $2.5 million. It's to design and install additional beneficiation process to existing concentrator, enabling Key Tac to reduce silica concentrate, meeting DR pellet specifications. The new processing can be utilized year-round or bypassed to produce the current blast furnace grade pellets. New processing equipment includes additional grinding, separation, and flotation to remove additional silica from the ore prior to pelletizing. Travis Polari and Robert Wilmanen are here from U.S. Steel Key Tac today online if there are any questions.
Maybe Mr. Mallory can tell us how the expansion underway to build a significant investment of 150 million over there for the DR grade pellet.
Hey, good morning. Good morning from Mintac, everyone. Yeah, the project's well underway, which is exciting for us. We have foundations being built. We just got our first load of steel the other day in the yard. I also have Mike Bach joining us today. Would you like to add some more specifics around that, Mike?
Sure, Travis. Yeah, as you said, first loads of steel showed up on Monday, and they'll be continuing over the next few weeks. We're hoping to finish the concrete pours for all the foundations and footings next week. The weather's been a bit challenging here, you could say, but first steel will start going up first week of January, so it's pretty exciting.
Any questions, members? The taxes on DR grade pellets are higher than on regular pellets. Okay. Representative Sansky moved resolution 23-015. Clerk, take the roll.
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eckland.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Listegar.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Stansky.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-016, Ms. Johnson.
Chairman Bach, board members, U.S. Steel Mintac. U.S. Steel Mintac is eligible for a rebate of $3,129,915, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $3,129,915 for a minimum total project cost of $6,259,830. The project is for Mintac Step 1 and 2 pellet conveyor replacement. Total project cost is $6.5 million. It is to design and install a new Step 1 and 2 pellet conveyor system, feeding the existing pellet loadout facility. The new conveyor system will be more modern in design, replacing the conveyor that collapsed in 2022. And again, we have Travis Kalari and Robert Wilman available if there are any questions.
Questions, members? Representative Listegar moves resolution 23-016. Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eckland.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Listegar.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Stansky.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-017.
Chairman Bach, board members, United Taconite Mining Company. United Taconite is eligible for a rebate of $1,321,267. Subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,321,267 for a minimum total project cost of $2,654,534. Total project cost will be $2.7 million. Project number 1 is for mill lines 1 and 2 screen replacement for $2.1 million. United Taconite's milling process involves a series of mills, screening, and magnetic separation to separate valuable iron bearing units from waste. This project improves the process for 2 of UTAC's milling lines. Project number 2 is for furnace line 2 roll feeder for $600,000. This new system carries feed to the furnace via an upper and lower deck of rollers. These rollers efficiently segregate oversized materials, which in return for additional processing prior to reaching the furnace grate. We have Nick Buckema and Adam Riddell available online if there are any questions.
Any questions, members? Representative Eckland moves resolution 23-017. Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eckland.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Listegar.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
aye,
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Stansky.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Members, that concludes the appropriations out of the Taconite Economic Development Fund. We're going to move on to Giants Ridge, which is resolution 23-018. John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Board members, this project is for a construction of a new indoor recreation center that will help support the overall recreational experience in Giants Ridge. And benefits of the new proposed center will include things such as, adds indoor space for healthy activities for families, locals, and children. The current recreational space at the facility is primarily outside, as everyone is aware. This will fill in that missing gap to provide indoor space for, again, families during those weather experiences such as today, when it's 30 below and snowing and people are looking for something else to do. creates additional programming and packaging and revenue opportunities for Giants Ridge and the surrounding properties at the facility, and it retains existing and attracts new customers. It also strengthens the potential of additional private sector real estate investments in Giants Ridge, which I will address here shortly, as well as supports the regional economic impact at Giants Ridge, which is currently at $55 million annually from some of the strategic investments that we've made over the last 8 years under Commissioner Phillips. The proposal is for IRRR funding to design and construct approximately 12,000 square feet of indoor recreational space located across the main ski entrance at Giants Ridge, for those of you that are familiar. The space will include a swimming pool, sports court, functional space, locker and change rooms, indoor spa, and outdoor spaces. The funding request includes site work and construction for a parking lot, landscape, walking paths to the facility, and guest services. Our current management company will operate the daily facility and the additional spaces. The cost breakdown: estimated expenses including design, construction, contingency, and inflation are at $8,254,581. The construction of the project would be managed by Real Estate Construction Services along with IRRR and a general contractor yet to be determined through the bid process. The project is estimated to go out for bid fall of 2023, construction probably not until 2024. Currently online, we have folks from Giants Ridge Operations. We have Fred Seymour, who is the general manager. We also have John Grazina from DSGW, who has done some conceptual design work. We also have Dave DePreez. He put together a business plan for Giants Ridge, with which the recreation center is included, as well as a developer who is interested and has signed a memorandum of understanding at this time to develop additional lots if we make this additional investment at the facility. Some of the highlights that are in the business plan, and maybe before I get to that, some of the items that the work that has been done behind the scenes before we have brought this to the board today include the Giants Ridge business plan, including this recreation center. We've done some recreational concept planning with area stakeholders and the operations team at Giants Ridge. We are completing a master plan update, which will be done shortly, and again, bringing in our stakeholders in the region. And also we have a memorandum of understanding with a developer for Giants Ridge at this time that we will continue to work with to do a takedown agreement and a development agreement. And they're estimated to invest between $9 and $13 million over the next 8 to 10 years in the development that's proposed at the current residence club. Some of the other highlights of the project: it will continue to increase the revenue over the next 10 years. It'll increase the economic impact, and just by the recreation center alone, 4.7 annually once the facility is built. What else can I tell you? The portion, again, from the economic impact will continue to grow over the next 10 years, predicted at $65 million by 2020 or 2027 or 2032. And then the recreation center alone will add another $21 million in economic impact from that facility specifically. So with that, we also have, and he's not available to speak, but Mike Jurek is online as one of the developers, and Todd and Nancy Fisher, who are familiar with Giants Ridge. They've developed many lots over at Voyagers Retreat, and they didn't mind today if I mentioned their names. And so they are anxious and willing to speak with you, but unfortunately they're unavailable to connect online. So, but they are watching.
Well, Ms. Johnson, under Commissioner Phillips' leadership, I think him and the staff have done a good job of trying to bring down the operating deficit at Giants Ridge.
Yes.
Do you anticipate this is going to add anything to the operating deficit, or where we're financially from an operational standpoint?
I can address it.
Where are we going?
Senator Brock, I can address that. Can people hear me?
Yeah.
So we had when we 18 months ago, we made some investments with the board's help. And that was to pretty much eliminate any additional support that the agency had to provide to Giants Ridge, I believe in a 10-year time frame. This accelerates that by a couple of years investment. So this adds to our business plan, the ability to reduce what people refer to as subsidy or investment, annual investment in operations. So this, to answer your question, Senator Bach, this accelerates our ability to attain that plan, I believe, by about 2 years. So Linda, you can correct me if I'm wrong about that. But, and the other thing I just want to tell you, we've been approached by a lot of different people, and we invested in that residence club property, and we've been trying to attract developers or whatever. But what happens is the recreational property requires certain amenities, and if the people if they have to construct those amenities, it takes the economics out of their project and they go away. So what we've done with our assistance of the consultants that Linda mentioned is, what would we have to do to put certain amenities in place that would attract all this outside investment? And we've already attracted it by planning to do this project. So this is all being done based on business planning. This isn't a seat of the pants kind of operation we're proposing. So be happy to answer any questions about that.
And also, Mr. Chair, board members, the visitation at Giants Ridge over the last three years has grown by 10%, and the revenue has grown by 41%. So some of the strategic investments that we've been making as it relates to operations and additional amenities is showing to prove off little by little. And by 2031, we're hoping to eliminate the subsidy by making, again, strategic investments, working with private sector to enhance, again, the whole quality of life for the people of the Iron Range, because they will have access to this as well for families, children, and visiting guests to get them to stay. And if we can get everyone that is just even currently coming without new customers, that will help offset the cost of this facility extremely well.
Questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just going to make a comment. I worked there, 27 years ago, and to see what Commissioner Phillips' vision was 8 years ago, working with you, Linda, and that staff, to see you guys execute. I hear from many different people from the cities, how that facility has improved in the quality of, just the service that's there and the amenities, the high speed, all of it. And it's incredible. And we're blessed to have it. This investment is only going to diversify and make it more valuable moving forward. And this is a state-owned facility, and we should embrace it because it is a gem that they come from all over to see it. So I wholeheartedly support this, and I want to thank you, Commissioner. You told us 8 years ago, long before I was an elected official on that end of the range as a city councilor, what your vision was, and you executed it. And that's incredible. It speaks to who you are and what you're able to accomplish. So I want to thank you personally for everything you've done for this facility.
Thank you. I'm glad you had a bonding request in with the state.
You got it.
And well, it was $8 million at one time. Now it's $16 million. And these are state. Okay. we need to get that across the finish line at the legislature this year too.
Homework
assignment. Incoming board members, both incumbent ones and others, we have had very little success, none, I guess, leveraging state bonding for this state-owned facility. Yeah. And for the first time last spring, it looked like we were actually going to be successful. The governor had proposed, I think, a little over $10 million for the agency to cover some maintenance issues. We have a lot of water line issues up there. They're old, need to be replaced. The House and Senate had agreed in the bonding bill that was pretty much ready to be passed before the session collapsed. that the agency would get about $11 million of state bonding. That agreement is in place with the House. The House chair is coming back, the Senate chair is not coming back in January, but as you start to talk about a potential bonding bill or a cash bonding bill, we've got a lot of needs at Giants Ridge, and I think our investment here will help you explain that, yes, IIIB is investing its own money. We just in December spent over $8 million on another facility out there. So it wouldn't be fair to say we're coming to St. Paul for help and not trying to help ourselves. So you can get that in the bonding bill. I think something likely could happen fairly early in the session on that. You'd be more successful than all of us previous board members who were never able to get state bonding appropriations for this state agency and that state of assets. So I encourage you to keep that on your radar as you all get your feet planted in the session.
I'll take it to heart.
Representative Lissagard moves resolution 23-012. Any other discussion? Clerk will take the roll.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Exlin.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn.
Aye.
Representative Eichel.
Yes.
Representative Listgaard.
Yes.
Representative Lewick.
aye,
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Santi.
Yes.
We have 8 ayes, 0 no.
The motion prevails. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution 23-019. Staff members Smith and Goodman.
Thank you, Chair Bach, members of the board. This next project, I think, is something that everybody in the room can sort of relate to. If you've been involved in a building project at your house, or building a garage, or buying groceries, or buying a new car, you realize the expenses that have been incurred to you, either through supply chain issues as a result of the pandemic, or soaring inflation rates causing prices to go up as well. The two school districts that have a project before you today are no different. Rockridge and the Ely school districts are requesting up to $6,700,000 in short-term cash infusions for their construction projects. The purpose of this investment is to aid the school districts to avoid incurring additional costs associated with the premature shutdown and subsequent restart of construction activities due to unanticipated construction inflation caused by economic forces driven by the COVID-19 pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, as you recall, the agency approved an ongoing annual expenditure of up to $4.9 million for 20 years for the payment of bonds to Rockridge School District, and a one-time expenditure of $7 million for capital improvement costs to support the Ely School District. Both are supported by school district referendums. Under this particular proposal, the commitment will be up to $4.7 million to Rockridge School District and up to $2 million for the Ely School District. It is, however, the expectation of the agency that the school districts will work collaboratively with legislators to enact legislation to reimburse the agency's school account in the amount of the short-term cash infusion. Currently, both districts are seeking legislative solutions regarding construction sales tax exemptions and funding to offset construction cost increases caused by economic forces driven by the COVID-19 pandemic. I have with me Whitney Ridlin, who manages a school account for the agency, to answer any questions on process and procedure. We also have superintendents from both districts, Noel Schmidt from Rockridge and John Claridge from Ely, to answer any questions as well. Mr. Chair.
Members, I will say the sales tax exemption, and Liz Garden, Senator elect Paul are going to be on the tax committees. The sales tax exemption for the construction materials for the Ely and the Rockridge School are in the conference committee report. And I know I've talked with Senator Rest, she's talking about one of the very early committee hearings, start to go through what the House and Senate had agreed to. Because that was ready to be taken out, but just kind of collapsed under when the session collapsed in May. So I would hope the budget surplus got even larger, that we can hold that provision in that will help those those two school districts, and there are some others included in that language also. The additional funding for the COVID referendums, of which Ely and Rockbridge fell into. There's some language floating around on that. Those bills never got finalized, but there is some language, and I did hear from one of the other superintendents from southern Minnesota. He actually contacted me this week, asking, I believe there's 4 school districts in that language that passed referendums and subject to the COVID cost overages. And I did send him the language. So the members coming in are going to see some language floating around that helps Ely and Rockbridge and
David's.
and one in some David's district. There are 4 of them total, and one in Senator Roden's district. And so that language is around. Jim Collins, the superintendent, one of those southern districts, is going to try and breathe some light into that didn't actually get into a bill because the education bill didn't get finalized, so it wasn't quite concluded yet. You can get that in there with help a great deal. Hope the agency a great deal, and that we could get reimbursed for this up front. Bridge loan, let me call it, assuming you're going to be successful. Any other discussion on 23-019? Representative Sandsky moves resolution 23-019.
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn. Representative Eigel.
Yes.
Representative Lister.
Yes.
Representative Wood.
aye,
Senator Bruce.
Yes.
Representative Sandsky.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Motion prevails, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 23-020, the Iron Range Fire Education. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Block. The Iron Range Higher Education Committee met virtually on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. The committee received program updates followed by presentations and discussion regarding the following proposed investment. There is a description, a more detailed description in your board packets. Primarily what we're seeing is as Mid-North College has merged into one college, their ability to address regional issues is much greater. The 4 projects that are in the board packet before you all come as a result of regional conversations, accessing the college's ability to be able to move programs around from campus to campus to serve the needs of the regions within our Arrowhead region as well. The first one is one that you're very familiar with, early childhood programming and redesign of targeting and access project. So it's supporting the investments that this agency is making in childcare facilities by taking a hard look at what are the career paths and training opportunities for those individuals that will actually go to work in those types of facilities, and what do those career ladders look like for someone that comes in as a child development associate, and then how do they move up into early childhood teaching? Perhaps they move on into elementary education, and to be able to do that in the region without having to leave the area is imperative. The next one is a redesign of our electrical construction and electrical controls programming. This is a combination of a program that is at Hibbing Community College that is wildly successful in its partnership with IBEW. It has waiting lists. The other program is more into the process logic controls that run many of the large employers in our region. We found that there's an interest in mixing some of those skills so that individuals from each program can sort of crosswalk when they're out in industry. The University Center development is really looking at the building on the success that we've had with Iron Range Engineering, knowing that we have students that are committed to being citizens of northeastern Minnesota that do not want to leave here, whether it's to go to work or to go to school. And so how do we develop better partnerships beyond just engineering? We know that students can receive their education in a lot of ways now. But many of them don't want to take things online or virtually. They want to have face-to-face relationships. And so
if we go back to the day from the old Arrowhead University Consortium, when we would have campuses like Bemidji State coming down and actually offering degree programs in person on the range with cohorts of 15 or 20, we're able to do that again, because we can build enough students in a particular cohort to make it worth their while. And then the machining and manufacturing program development, which actually doesn't have any price tag on it, because it's using some of the residual dollars that you as a board invested in the college merger in the first place, to take a look at how we develop that particular program. We continue to hear the needs for machining, manufacturing, and fabrication in the region. And in fact, just this week, we've completed interviews with 24 manufacturers and machine shops across the region. We did a session on Monday over at Itasca campus, one yesterday at Virginia campus, and one today at Hibbing, with 3 different groups of manufacturers developing sort of an advisory group and listening to what those skills would be. So the ask that you have before you is $985,000 for the development and delivery of those programs. I do want to say, because we've talked about the great job that the commissioner has done in leveraging outside resources into our funding, and primarily and particularly in higher ed, we haven't been able to talk about that much. But I think what we're seeing immediately in the merger of these campuses, where you have outside donors saying, I don't know which campus to give to, when I can give to one college. If you look at this particular project, our agency investment of just under $1 million is leveraging $4.4 million from other entities. So there's about $480,000 from the Emberg Charitable Trust and the Patricia Emberg Charitable Trust, and an additional $3 million investment from the Blannon Foundation into the reformation of these campuses as well. So I think that's important to note. And then the last thing I'll add, Mr. Chair, is that in the last presentation, talking about Giants Ridge and the subsidy, I think we've seen higher ed move in that direction as well. Those of you who have been on the board for a long time realize that for a number of years, we've been subsidizing the Iron Range Engineering Program to the tune of about $1 million per year. You made an investment a few years ago in the Bell program, which is kind of the Iron Range Engineering Program that's gone nationwide. And those individuals that are coming in from out of state, spending their parents' tuition dollars in Minnesota, now make it to the point where we're not making that $1 million investment on an annual basis in Iron Range Engineering anymore either. And we can take that money then and invest it in other things that we need to do as well. So Commissioner Phillips, thank you for moving the committee in that direction as well. Mr. Chair, I'll stand for questions.
For incoming board members, this Iron Range Higher Education account is, you're going to learn about taconite taxes. There's lots of different pots of money where we put the production tax into. There is a nickel a ton that goes into this account that this board then considers how we're going to recommend to the commissioner that it be spent. The history of it is the Iron Range delegation created that account back during the days of when Arnie Carlson was governor. He vetoed it. And it was a short period of time after that it was successful finally in putting money into this account, and Mr. Smith has done a great job kind of improving, taking our higher education system to a whole nother level here in Northern Minnesota as it relates to workforce development. All that work over the years, and the board members when it's chance to be served on the higher ed committee here at the agency. Thank you for that. We're going to be competitive here as long as we have employees. Employees are going to require the skill set that it needs. So it's a good investment for the agency. Any other questions? Senator Stansky moves resolution 23-02. What will take the roll?
Senator Bach.
Yes.
Representative Eklund.
Yes.
Senator Eichner.
Aye.
Representative Igo.
Yes.
Representative Lopez.
Yes.
Representative Luick.
Aye.
Senator Rude.
Yes.
Representative Sansky.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 no.
The motion prevails. The resolution is adopted. Under other business, Representative Woodland.
Well, to the outgoing members, it's truly been an honor to serve with all of you. I'm seeking your counsel and down at the legislature. It's a very complex, system. It's not cookie cutter, like you would see on campaign literature. And to get your guys' input and to be effective, it's truly been an honor. To Commissioner Phillips, you are one of a kind. You are a kind man, good heart, and you care about people. You're a ranger at the core, and when people didn't understand really what we were getting into, you didn't treat us, stupid. You helped us understand and give us the information to make the right decision. And that's a quality of leadership that I'm deeply going to miss. And you're a good man and you're a good friend. And thank you for your years of service.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the. I enjoyed working with each and every one of you, and I don't know if I have a lot to add. Maybe you did this already, Senator Bach, but did we acknowledge that Representative Lewis is calling in from the Philippines?
I don't think we've ever had a board member participate from the Philippines. Representative Lewis, you're going to get the award for that. And I deliberately did not give you an opportunity to make a motion for fear that Mr. Petrick might say you can't make a motion if you're outside.
Chairman Bach, if I could, I'd like to just quickly want to first of all thank the IRRB staff for the 8 years that I've had the opportunity to work with them, and I'll just say this: this is the only state agency that I have not received a call, complaint, or email on, and you really need to understand that the staff here at IRRB sets themselves apart as a real role model for how all the state agencies should operate. And to my fellow board members, it's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I'd like to mention a few that obviously, like Tom and I are going to be leaving. They've already left. Carly Moline, Tom Anzeld, Senator Tom Saxhog, Senator Rod Skoy, Representative Sandy Lehman served with all those folks, and then particularly two folks that really owed a lot to both his mentors, and that's obviously Senator David Tomasoni and Representative David Dill, two individuals that have been part of the Iron Range delegation that are no longer with us. And I guess as the interesting as a second senior member of the IRRB board, alongside obviously senior member Tom Bach. Again, and lastly, I just want to say this. I joined the board the same time that Commissioner Phillips was appointed, and I can just say without any doubt, absolutely the finest agency commissioner and a personal friend that I've had the opportunity to serve with in state government, and tremendous amount of work that he's done to continue to push the agency forward. I know we had a little dust up with the audit. Here's a little secret a lot of folks don't know. I know I met with Mark when he came on. I came on at the same time, and it was interesting that he had a lot of things that he laid out that he saw needed to be done with at the agency to improve our digital ability to count for things and all the administrative things that you need to do if you really understand how an agency works. And I really think the auditors must have stole Mark's playbook, because he was already in the process of updating and fixing and tweaking and modernizing a whole bunch of things. And I guess lastly, I'll say to those board members, don't ever forget this is a bipartisan operation, and particularly I know I had to defend the agency when the party I belonged to was in the majority, and and some of the things, not everybody's comfortable with mining and that is true both in both parties and same with forest industry. So, but again, I just want to say from the southern Philippines, about 50 miles south of where General MacArthur returned to the Philippines. Been a pleasure serving with you, and again, special thanks to Commissioner Mark Phillips for the great job that he's done, and personal friend and mentor Tom Bach in particular. So with that, I'll just be quiet.
Representative Luke, what time of the day is it over there? Oh, yeah, I think we went along. I go sleep, went to bed.
Okay, me next. I just want to say thank you all. The staff has been marvelous, and Commissioner Phillips, you've been so gracious to me and my learning curve and serving on this group. And it's been such an honor to serve with all the members, past and present. And Senator Bach, your leadership has been very tremendous. And I have to tell you that, you know, my papa was from Hibbing and worked in the mines before World War II. And so I think he would be really honored to see what this group has done with the mining industry and going forward. I think, you know, he would be so pleased to see where we've come in all this time. So thank you again for all your friendships and leadership. And it's been a pleasure to serve this group.
Thank you, Representative Sansky.
So I just want to take a moment, thank you, Mr. Chair, to echo much of what's already been said. Serving on this board has been an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm proud of the work that we've been able to do. But the important thing is we've done it together. And I want to take a moment just to wish my successors and the new commissioner coming in all the best as you move forward. Nothing but success. And it's a big change that we're looking at, but I'm excited about change because with change comes opportunity. And I know no matter what side of the aisle people sit on, we all have a heart to do right by this region. And I wish everybody the very best. And Commissioner Phillips, thank you for all of your service. You've done a tremendous job. And thank you to my fellow board members.
Representative Eklund.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first off, we got to thank the staff. This place, these meetings would not run the way they do without the exemplary work of the staff. It's amazing. Any one of you that I've called over the last 7 years have gotten back to me immediately. And that's a token to your work ethic and the way we do things up north. Commissioner Phillips, this agency is in terrific hands going forward for the next commissioner through your work the past 8 years. Thank you. And thank you especially for your friendship over the years. You've given me some good advice whenever I call. So to the incoming board members, you got your work cut out for you. There's a definite you got some definite challenges going forward, but I fully believe that you're going to be up to the challenge. So these past 4 years when I was chair of this board was honor of my lifetime. I chaired for 2 years, vice chair under Senator Tom Stoney. You can't ask for any better honor to have than something like that. So thank you. Anybody, anything else? Incumbent members? Somebody or anything?
I'll just say one thing, since we won't have Commissioner Phillips anymore, yeah, like the other people, I've really appreciated the tone of how you worked and how accessible you were. And whenever we needed something, whether it was in St. Paul or here, you would always show up, and we appreciate the collegial atmosphere you always created. And you definitely did a lot. I know when I first came on with Representative Blayman, there was a lot of frustration that maybe that side of the range wasn't getting enough love, and you really took that to heart and did a lot of things to make sure that the entire range was really serviced well by this agency. And you did a great job shepherding the staff as well. I know everyone mentioned the staff, and we really appreciate what the staff does, but under your leadership, I think you really set up the next commissioner to do well. I just want to say thank you to you, Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Senator.
I'll just wrap it up. You know, as the newest member of the board, I had a lot of thanks to all the staff here as always, but to you, the members of the board, you know, I came in and COVID and shutdowns and I couldn't even meet with you guys in person for almost a year. And I really appreciate all the advice that was given, the phone calls, emails, text messages, guidance through committee. because it's really made us a stronger board, and now moving forward as normal returning members, it's gonna be great to bring in the new group here, and, you know, just also appreciation you represent stats that we were not in a good situation, and I really appreciate how you and I have kept a good relationship, and are gonna continue to have one moving forward, working together for our region that we love. So, thank you.
Commissioner, were we gonna hear from you again? I thought I saw your screen light up.
I promise. I would tell you, I think comments are reflective of my philosophy of how to manage something. Is culture matters. The culture you create at any organization, I don't care if it's at the legislature or running a business or whatever, the culture you create for your employees, where you trust them and you empower them and drive that empowerment all the way down to the bottom of the organization, that's how you get this kind of success. So whatever you do in life going forward, I know what I'm going to be probably fishing more than anything, but the rest of life left. And remember that, how to treat people and how to create a culture wherever you're working that empowers people, and you'll have all the success that you want. So thank all of you again. I'm done. Thank you.
Well, a very good point. I often tell incoming legislators when I've done orientation type things with them is it's unlikely you're going to get remembered for anything you did because there's this revolving door where we all revolve in and we all revolve. But you are going to get remembered for what you do. So that's probably my best advice to the incoming members. And I'm not going to ask them to stand up, but I did invite the 4 incoming board members who are going to be members of the legislature. Representative-elect Ben Davis, Representative-elect Roger Straba, Senator-elect Rob Farnsworth, and Senator-elect Brown Holzchild to join us today. Thank you for taking the time. You're not getting paid $86 like the rest of us for the meeting, but I do want you to stick around if you will, because I want to share with you a couple things. One is this document right here. This is the Bible of the Iron Range delegation in St. Paul. Department of Revenue puts it out every year. It's the Department of Revenue's mining tax guide. It's your required reading before you get sworn into office. If I was king for the day, that's what I tell you. It'll give you a good idea of how the Taconite tax dollars we spread across to benefit all of our communities and our residents in the Taconite Union area. So if you could just kind of hang around, I want to give that to you and give you just a small overview of it. The incumbent members understand how all that works, but this has been for me a remarkable journey. 28 years on this board. None of you were here when I came. Some of you staff were, and I too want to add my thanks to the staff for the remarkable work that you've done, how responsive you've been, and board members have had questions, and how courteous and thoughtful you've been when dealing with residents in our community and local government officials. Can't say thanks enough for that. You're really the board members oftentimes are the ones that get their name in the newspaper, but we can only be successful because of the work of the staff here. So thank you so much for that. It is a remarkable agency, different than any other one in state government. And I remember when Jesse Ventura was elected governor, he appointed a commissioner that wasn't around. His name was John Swift. And I remember after a relatively short time here, I remember him actually saying at a public board meeting, you know, if I knew what this agency had done and how interesting it is, I'd have done this job for free. You didn't want to pay back. We had paid him, but it really, for those of you that are new coming into the board, it's a remarkable state agency, and it is amazing how because we produce document, it's what we're able to do for our community and the residents that live here. So those of you that are new coming in, my best wishes to everybody. A happy holidays. And to represent Lizelgard, the tradition of the board has been that the most senior member of the House has the gavel for 2 years, and then it goes to the most senior member of the Senate. We haven't always followed seniority, but kind of assuming Representative Lizelgard that you're probably going to be the chair from January. So You can run the meeting wherever you want, but there's been a long-standing discussion here about whether motions will require a second. And you notice I didn't ask for seconds. The reason for that is, the legislature operates under Mason's rules of order. And under Mason's rules of order, the legislature, we don't require seconds on motions. But this agency seems like most times it runs under Robert's rules of order, we require seconds. I don't know why we do that. But Representative Lislegard, run it however you want.
Real seconds, right now.
Under Mason's rules or Robert, you do. So, with that, thank you all very much. My best going forward to those of you that are retiring. Thank you for your service and individuals who ran for office and weren't successful. I want to thank them too, because this is political campaigns are more terse and more combative than I've ever seen them in my time here. So thank you to those of you that weren't successful for putting yourself forward out there and your family forward out there in an effort to serve in an elective office. So thank you all very much. This meeting is adjourned.